When I put him on all fours here, he might try to lift his head up on this side, look, precisely to get off my back and break my arm triangle. And then we have a position here, which is typical in wrestling, to finish him here when he starts to raise his head. So you'll notice that when you're in this controlling position, right, which we call controlling, when you put the guy on all fours, I put him on all fours here, controlled him, all right? If you have a grip here, trying to go for the arm triangle, he'll basically have two main positions that he's going to take. Either he'll curl up completely, try to tuck his chin into his chest, and flare his elbows out, okay, to make it harder. Or he'll raise his head, just like he did here. Under my armpit, he'll lift his head and swim out to take my back. Let's do it today. We're going to do the one where he raises his head. Okay, why? Because it's a continuation of the position that Zulu showed from when you go for the arm and neck and the guy's head slips under the armpit, okay? So you can stay right here. I'm here. Arm around the neck. He raised his head up. There you go. I'm here. Arm around the neck. He lifted his head up. There you go. What am I going to do, man, when I feel his head coming this way? Go back a bit. The first sign that he's going to lift his head instead of tucking it in, if he tucks, you'll feel his chin here. If he lifts his head, you'll feel the pressure on your chest. I'll already know where he's going before. If he starts putting pressure with his chin on my forearm here, look, it's because he's going to tuck in. If he starts doing this, the first place I'll feel pressure is right here. If I start to feel a pressure here on my stomach, on my chest upwards, it's because he's going to lift his head. And that's when he pressures there, I'll release and act. So he's there, look, he started to put pressure there, I'm going to let go. With this hand, I'm going to push his shoulder back, look. And this hand of mine that was on his chest, I'm going to make a turning motion. I pushed the shoulder back through my hips and turned. I'm going to lock in, people call it a figure four, right? Lock it like a four, okay? Recapping, I'm here. I felt the pressure. I'm going to throw my hips back while pushing the shoulder. With this hand, I keep my arm tense. I can't let it go weak. I'm going to make a turn. Grabbed here. When I grab here, I'm going to sprawl and use this wrist. It's going to do this turn. So, again, he came. I pushed hips back. Turn. I lay down on top of his head. Look at my wrist stretched out here now. I got here, Japanese, please. I'm here, okay? I locked him down. Come here, Japanese, please. I'm here, okay? I put him on all fours. He started to lift his head up there. Look at the shoulder. Shoulder, look at my own shoulder. Shoulder, look at my own shoulder pushed forward. Because if I just do this, he'll pull his head out. When I get out of here, I push his shoulder. When I get out of here, I push his shoulder. I keep the shoulder here. Try to pull your head out. Go ahead. It's stuck. Now I'm going to get the grip there. I got it. Came back. I pressed my chest against the back of his neck. I'm going to contract my arm and turn this wrist upward. Two things, two details, okay? I need exactly this. You have to remember that in this situation, I'm defending myself, but he's close to my legs. And he has the chance to get out of there by spinning to my back, or he could even go for a single leg there if I slip up. So I need this bony column here, which is my forearm, as a shield so he can't come this way. What does that mean? That if I try to just place my hand here on top, there's nothing stopping him. He moves forward. I need this to be firm. Look how I drop my elbow down so he can't come in. If you put your hand on his back, he'll come underneath, dive under, and go for the single leg here. Look. Here, look. Elbow down, he can't come in. And another detail, I can't try to grab before I hit his shoulder hard like this, okay? I said shoulder just to make it simpler for you to understand, but actually this grip is on his collarbone, which is this bone here, because if I go for the shoulder, it'll slip. If I try to grab the shoulder, when it's sweaty or with Vaseline, it'll slip. It's right here, look. Here, notice that sometimes he has his chin tucked in for defense. If I try to turn my arm here, look. You see there's no space for me to fit it in. I need to hit like this. Look at the space that opens up, see? He was here, exactly here. Look, he's defending himself. The moment I hit, look, check out the space between his ear and his shoulder here. Look, ear and shoulder. Imagine that this part of mine is under his chin. So his chin is going to stay locked in place, right? When I hit hard, look at the space that opens up. That's where my hand is going to go in. See, I'm here ready. Once I do this, see, I'm here ready. Once I do this, I'll put my weight on and go for it. It's automatic, it's fast, a quick move, okay? There, I did it from the turtle position to There, I did it from the turtle position just to show the position, right? And most of the time, you'll actually catch him from the turtle position anyway. But there's a way to make it even worse for him, which is this. I was just messing around with the Japanese guy over there. If you're gentle in this position at first, it doesn't work. This isn't about being gentle. It's about being rough. What does that mean? If I do this slowly, man, our bodies in a fight are conditioned to react. If you push here, I don't even know what you're doing. Unconsciously, I already throw upwards. So if I do it slowly, his brain has time to process and react. So this here, look, see, I hit and turned. Okay, I grabbed it. Look, I hit and got the grip. Okay, I grabbed it. I finished from here, right? But the full position to make it even worse is this. I do a sprawl, look. When I sprawl, the pressure increases a lot. Why? My chest is on the back of his neck. Here I finished him in this situation. But when I sprawl, it goes like this. Look, come here, Zeka. You're defending there, okay? Here, look, Japanese style, see? Got it? Boom, I locked it in against him. Look. See? Look, I locked it in against him. Look. I locked it in, squeezed, and look. Sprawl, I did a sprawl here, look. Then man, there's no way not to catch him.